What's the best way to deal with an overwhelming workload? Such a huge question, and there's so many angles I can come at for this one. But let's say if you have clarified your job role, talk to your immediate superior, or maybe you're the business owner, so you are that person, you are your own boss. The key thing really is to get clarity on what is most important and where do you need to focus your time. So, you could bring this back to what's called the urgent important matrix, which is just a simple 4-grid matrix. At the top, there's everything that's important. At the bottom, there's things that aren't important. On one side, there's what's urgent, and the other side, there's what's not urgent. Now, what happens, we have the frantic zone, which is the urgent important zone, where you've got all the things that are absolutely critical and urgent. This is crises to deal with, emergency. This is really high level important work, deadlines. You've got what's called the proactive zone. This is stuff that's important, but not necessarily waving an urgent flag at you. And this is things like improving your systems, getting things done ahead of time, looking after your health, well-being, your professional development and personal development. But the challenge with that zone is that because it's not urgent, sometimes those things get left to the side. Down the bottom, the not important zones, you've got the urgent not important, which is what we call the reactive zone. And this is where there are often lots of interruptions, things that distract you in your day, little tasks that you decide to just get ticked off because you can, but they're perhaps not really moving you forward in your goals. That's the reactive zone. And then you've got not urgent, not important, and that's what we call the time wasting zone. And sometimes that's just a nice place to catch your breath. So most people go through their day going from frantic to reactive, frantic, reactive, frantic, reactive, frantic, reactive, over to time wasting just for a bit of light relief. But the key thing, if you really want to get on top of your workload and get out of overwhelm, is to be able to create and manage and protect time for the things in the proactive zone, things that are really highly important, but that haven't yet become urgent. So that's at a big picture level. And, we can chat more about that if that's something that you need to understand and grapple with. But the challenge with the proactive zone is that if you don't plan and schedule and protect time to move forward on those proactive things, they just won't happen because there'll be all the urgent flags dragging you away. And you've got to remember, this is not your fault. Your brain is wired to want to do the fun, fast and easy tasks. So each day you might come in with the best intentions, but you get pulled off in a dozen directions, bright shiny object syndrome, ticking things off, but they're not necessarily important. So that's probably the key. I also want to give you one quick tip around this that I hope will make a difference for you right now to help start working through the overwhelm. And that is, at the end of the day, to take 5 minutes and write down your to-do list for the next day, anything that you want to get done, that you need to get done. And then the way that I do it is onto a little A6 lined post-it note like this that I can stick to my computer. So write down your list and then just take the top 5 and write numbers beside them. Prioritize the top 5. Number 1, this is what the most important thing I need to get done. This will be number 2, this will be number 3, this is number 4, number 5. What I do is I then stick that to the top of my laptop lid so that when I come in the morning, it's pre-planned and it is there. And focus first on getting on with your number 1 priority, ideally before you do anything else. Ideally before you check email, for instance, because email can take you off a whole rabbit warren of other little low-level tasks. So that's just one quick tiny time management tip. And as I said at the start, a bigger picture overview. Ultimately, if you haven't yet spoken to your direct manager, your boss, about the level of your workload, then actually that would be a great starting point to have a really good, open, honest conversation about all the things that you are doing. Perhaps prepare a list of all the things that are on your plate and work with that leader, that manager, to say what are the actual priorities, because perhaps you're spending a lot of time on something that isn't as important as other things, and that will leave you feeling overwhelmed. And of course, if you are your own boss, then you can apply that principle. You can sit down, have a meeting with yourself and think, where do I really need to focus my time? So that's been some quick ideas about what is a very big topic. If I can help with anything else, please reach out.